All right, guys. I wanted to pop in very quickly and talk about just some of the debate that we enjoyed last night. None of the questions really got answered. I just believe that Donald Trump did a worse job than Kamala Harris. Some people believe, well, I will say, in my opinion, Kamala Harris won the debate. But as far as answering the questions, Trump said something in his closing argument that I believe that he should have stayed with the entire hour and a half. He should have stayed with that. Your administration, you're the VP. You know that Joe Biden's health has been failing ever since he obtained office. You guys still haven't fixed the many issues with the economy as well as with illegal immigration. He should have stayed on that the entire time. But a lot of people believe, even myself, that Kamala Harris was basically laying traps for him to take, and he did. He fell in every trap that she essentially set forth for him. But I think the laughing part of the debate is when Donald Trump stated that in Springfield, Ohio, the illegal immigrants are eating cats and dogs, and they're eating people's pets. And I laughed at it myself, and I was literally like, this man here can't hold it together. He cannot just be professional and be a president, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, how's this going to go over in public opinion? How's this going to look in public opinion? I see you, Volvo. Nice to see you guys. I'm going to be very quick today, family, because I don't want to do a debate reaction. I don't want to do a debate recap. I really don't. I just want to home in on the most egregious, outlandish, funniest thing I heard during the entire debate is when I think the question was about the economy or illegal immigration. He's talking about, illegal immigrants eating cats and dogs. And I said, damn, Donald Trump. Not that I'm a, Republican or I'm rooting for Trump, but I really thought Trump was going to do better than he did. And matter of fact, I thought Trump was going to win. And a lot of people told me, nah, Kamala Harris, she's the lawyer, she's this, she's that. I believe she's going to win. And she did. Even though she didn't answer any questions, she didn't bring any substance to the table. Now, I would say, if you guys understand a lot of politicians' strategies when they're asking questions, is that they always give you a story or they tend to explain the situation. Take, for instance, Kamala Harris, are you for reparations for descendants of slaves? Well, Black people have went through many atrocities in this country, especially in slavery, where they're being harmed and forced to work and not getting paid, even through Jim Crow, et cetera, et cetera. They always explain, we know all of that. That's what they tend to do. When they asked her about the economy and how she would fix the economy, she would state that she was raised by a single mother. Okay, yeah, we got your story. What are you going to do to fix it? So she said she was going to implement some sort of bill where it gave people $50,000 of a tax deduction, where if you look at all the tax experts, they were like, that's totally outlandish. We'll all be millionaires if she did that, because none of us would pay taxes because the majority of Americans don't make more than $50,000. Okay, but I digress, family. So let's get into what a lot of people, even myself, just thought it was outrageously the most asinine things that a presidential candidate can say in front of millions and millions of people. When asked a question, you're talking about immigrants eating cats and dogs. Now, I went out and I found this clip of these British people making fun of Donald Trump, even though they have no say-so in our politics. But nonetheless, I wanted to show you guys this very quickly. Bear with me here, family. Because unfortunately, I believe whoever thought he was lying, we were all wrong. Okay, and they're going to laugh at him when he states this, but listen in.
They have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening.
Now you've taken away elderly Biden, you suddenly realize how much he just rambles like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, Biden was so bad, he looked quite good.
Because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield,
so they're denying the cats.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating. Eating the pets of the people that live there, and this is what's happening.
Now, okay, so if you guys heard that they're saying they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, and of course, you, me, and a lot of other people just thought that, okay, Donald Trump is unhinged. He said he's looking at social media. So there's a lot of information.
That FaceTime me tonight. FaceTime.
There's a lot of information that we aren't familiar with when it comes to Springfield, Ohio. I didn't even know that we had a lot of illegal immigrants up in Springfield, Ohio, and they're mostly Haitian. Okay. I know that the Venezuelan gangs are around certain towns, even in the Midwest. But I want you to listen to this brother who is from Springfield, Ohio. And I'm going to let you guys listen to this in its entirety. Because at first, some people are like, oh, they could have paid him to back up Donald Trump and say these particular things. But I want you to really listen how passionate he is and how he's speaking truth to power. And again, family, I was one of those people that thought that Donald Trump was unhinged, that he was lying. But this says a different story. And this is not only one story, family. I have a couple more for you as well.
I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight, FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here. That's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the highway.
And family, I'm not trying to make this funny, but I don't know if you guys ever ate duck or geese before. You know, duck can be kind of greasy, but when you're really thinking about it, there was a pond when I lived in Washington State, and it was like, you know, ducks and geese all around the pond. There's probably about 30 of them. And it was geese doo-doo. And I'm like, man, it's an infestation of all these ducks. I guess Springfield, Ohio no longer has that problem. And believe me, when these Haitians getting these geese and ducks, that duck is going to be fresh. They chopping off the head. They skinning it right there in the street, family. I'm not making a joke. I'm just saying, you never had fresh duck, you might want to go to Springfield, Ohio.
State Patrol, and they look for guns, and they look for dope, and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for like going left to center and like a couple miles over, like y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol know so much how to know the odd that like a guy like me.
All right, so that was the first clip, family. But as someone stated right here, Elizabeth White stated that, of course, people who are voting for Trump wish that he never said that, but a woman has been arrested for killing and eating a cat. People have also reported saying people getting ducks out of ponds and eating them. Look it up. Well, we don't have to look it up. We have it right here, okay? We have it for you right here on Blacklogic. Listen in.
On your back. Someone got rubber gloves. She's covered in blood. How about you got gloves?
He said she killed two kids.
Stand up.
I'm still wearing.
Put your hands behind your back. Someone got rubber gloves. She's covered in blood. How about you got gloves? You got rubber gloves. So you have a right to remain silent on anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney if you can't afford one, won't be appointed to you at state's expense. You have a right to have that attorney present during any questioning. You have a right to stop answering any questions once they begin. Do you understand your rights? Do you understand? Smile for me. Smile. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Get in there. It's ridiculous.
She gave her kids to somebody, you know what I mean, to try to get herself right mentally.
So she doesn't have her kids because she was telling people she killed them.
No, she never killed her kids. Her kids were a family member. She sent them to somebody to try to get herself together.
Mm-hmm.
That person she sent them was.
I don't know yet. Judy said they wouldn't. They'll hold the cat as evidence. She destroyed that cat.
Now, what I was trying to find out if this lady was Haitian or not, because if you look right here, family, Audrey says that this was 200 miles away from Springfield and the lady is not Haitian. And then Mary said this lady is Haitian. People believe anything. So I was trying to listen to see if she had an accent. I know the brother didn't. And she didn't really answer the majority of the questions. But yeah, there's a lot of things going around Springfield, not Springfield area, that Trump has seen. He says on the internet, people are stating this on the internet. Okay. And then the situation in Springfield, Ohio, family, a lot of us are focusing on New York. A lot of us are focusing on Chicago, Colorado. There's parts in the Midwest where that Venezuelan gang has kind of, taken over parts. Like I've even heard fentanyl crisis up in Montana. So a lot of the illegal immigrants are going where populations are low, or they're going to black neighborhoods and they're blending in, like the Haitians are blending in with black foundational black Americans. The Venezuelans are just going to any people's neighborhood and, taking over, and just all sorts of crazy things occurring, family. So the point of what I'm stating here is that Donald Trump lied. And the many clips that I've seen, no, he didn't lie. I just don't think he should have said it in the way that he said it because it was crazy. But Donald Trump is Donald Trump. Everybody knows he's going to say whatever he thinks and whatever he feels. I'm pretty sure he didn't go through any debate prep. But I want you to also listen to this lady as well, okay? She's not really talking about eating the cats and dogs, but just what's going on in her area that I believe that's important for the American people to know, especially Black Americans, because we'll have people come from Black countries and try to blend in with us, and then the dominant society would think that is us because we look very similar, okay? They need to, just as Europeans come over here and try to blend in with the white Americans, understand that we are not the same. Black Americans are not going around killing cats. Black Americans are not going around the ponds. We actually enjoy the ducks. We look at them, oh, look at the family. We actually enjoy the country that our ancestors and our forefathers built. They're not like us, okay? But listen in.
So unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me. I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly. And last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status and you're protecting them. And I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay.
You guys are just sitting up there and suicide. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians, like, y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. That's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, like, step up. Like, it's lame, bro. Like, for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Driving around Springfield, I was looking at the giant holes in some of our buildings. I noticed all of the old familiar spots bearing new signs in an unfamiliar language. I watched as groups of strangers walked around the city like lost tourists, and it was like a punch in the gut. A terrible sadness came over me, and I began to cry. I immediately started to think back to when I was little, walking from my grandma's house on South Fountain through downtown and all the way to Snyder Park. I feel like we have been invaded by some sort of pest. I'm angry that my friends and family are packing up and moving away. I'm angry that foreigners are using a...
Now, what I want to point out in showing you some of these clips, family, is not to come hard down on just the Haitians, just the Venezuelans. This is a national illegal immigration problem. And I said this many a times throughout this year, that until it affects you, a lot of you, okay, and people that you know are going to ignore this problem. When have we heard Springfield, Ohio come out publicly and say they're having problems with illegal immigration? And this is how it's going to occur. You're going to see popular, very popular, very well-known U.S. cities come out and state the illegal immigration problem. I'm not trying to push you guys to vote for Donald Trump. I'm not trying to push you guys to vote for Kamala Harris, because when I looked at the debate last night in its entirety, Kamala Harris won. I'm not saying she answered any of the questions, but it's one thing that Donald Trump said at the end. You guys had 3.5 years to fix the border. You guys had 3.5 years to fix the economy, and you did not do it. Other than that, that was the most intelligent thing he said, but he waited almost an hour and a half. Okay. But when it comes to illegal immigration, because this is what she stated. Well, when we had a bipartisan bill go across the desk, you called your friends in Congress to kill the bill. The damage has already been done. We have had over 30 million illegal immigrants coming from the Caribbean, coming from South America, coming from China, coming from India inside of our country illegally. And now we're going to start seeing the effects of that. And the problem is, we already had a Biden-Harris administration, and we see what that got the American people. And again, family, when we think about foundational Black Americans, these guys are blending in with us. So you already know the ad hominem attacks. You already know the physical attacks that may be put upon us because we have similarities in skin color and body features. That's the one thing we're not understanding. This is about self-preservation. This is about self-preservation, family. And when you guys who are going to vote, okay, because I'm still standing on business, if they're not going to do anything specifically for foundational Black Americans, I'm on the couch, because at the end of the day, the American people are going to do one or two things. They're going to stand up politically, or they're going to take their actions further. Okay. And I don't think nobody wants World War III in America, where American citizens are picking up arms and defending their property, their life, and their communities against people who are illegally in the country. And family, I don't want that at all. I want everything to be peaceful. But when you hear people crying out that they're killing the ducks, that they're eating people's pets, and this is true. I thought it was outlandish. Listen to me. I thought it was a hoax. I thought Donald Trump, just like all politicians, just like Kamala Harris, just like Joe Biden, tell all these lies to make their opponent look incompetent, as though they don't know what they did. But unfortunately, he was telling the truth. Donald Trump wasn't lying. And we have all these people coming out here with problems in Springfield, Ohio, which I didn't know was an issue. The latest city that I know most of us heard was Colorado. Okay. Let me read some of your comments here. We got Jesse Purrs from Denver, B1 to you as well. Elizabeth White say Haitian culture is very different from ours. Some cultures still have animal sacrifices. They practice the religious called Santeria. Okay. Didn't know that. All FBI has to do is speak or open their mouth and anyone knows they're American. Absolutely. Absolutely. How did she win? Well, family, here's the thing. The census is this. She didn't win because she was answering questions directly. She won because she was leaving these traps for Donald Trump to bait on. And instead of staying focused on policies, instead of staying focused on what he's going to do to fix a certain thing, he went on these rants and tangents and really kind of just was unhinged on some of his responses. Family, again, a lot of people, Republican, conservative, liberal, are stating that she won. I'm not jumping on anyone's bandwagon. I was there, and I'm not lying to you. I was there with a bag of popcorn and a pen. Believe me, I was eating more popcorn than I was writing down things. Because when I was speaking to a couple of my friends today, they were like, well, Kamala Harris won because she was answering the question. I said, no, she wasn't. I said, the only difference between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they both didn't really answer the question, is that Donald Trump was so far left with his responses, and we know how Donald Trump speaks, versus a lifelong politician like Kamala Harris, who's also a lawyer. So she's very articulate. She seems to say things in a manner that's very political. So she's more polished than Donald Trump. So the image and the perception that she's going to give the American people that she is a better candidate for president, not on what she's going to do, okay? Because again, to Donald Trump's point, in that last segment of his last closing argument, you had 3.5 years to fix the economy. You had 3.5 years to secure the borders, and you didn't do so. And then she's mad at the political football fumble that when she tried to do a bipartisan bill to secure the border, Donald Trump called up his cronies in Congress and say, kill the bill. Okay, which was a political move. But again, she had 3.5 years to fix it, her and Joe Biden. And we all know this past year and a half, family, Kamala Harris, this was probably running the country herself, because we haven't heard the commander in chief, aka Joe Biden, really speak publicly. He probably, I think in the past month, he spoke publicly maybe once. Okay, and we're talking about the changing of the transition of power that's about to occur here in November. Okay, so again, that's where, and everybody has their personal opinion about who won, but I'm telling you, I'm very neutral, family. I'm very neutral. I don't believe neither one answered the questions, and they didn't stick to policies, how their policies will change the economy. Now, again, they mentioned certain things to have you think that there's policies already written. And to somebody's point, I don't recall who said this. Someone said to me, don't we already have enough policies to secure the border? Yes, we do. But the question is, the policies that are in place are not being utilized. They're not being enforced, okay? All right. Elizabeth White states that Trump wanted the bill killed because it called for about 5,000 migrants to enter the U.S. per month. That is true. That is true. He did state that, okay? She dodged questions and couldn't even answer what her racial identity is. I'm a comment about that very quickly. 3 against 1, the moderator won't come all aside. To Jesse Harrison's point, you are absolutely correct. Number one, when they brought up the race, she deflected and avoided answering the question again. She never stated that she's biracial. She never stated that she's black. She never stated that she was Indian. She always kind of do these awkward deflections. Oh, this is the same tired strategy from the same tired playbook. Kamala Harris, what do you identify yourself as? That's the question. Because even though as American people, we really shouldn't care. We should be really focused on the policies, okay, and not someone's identity. Because we saw with Obama, Obama's father is Kenyan, black guy. Obama's mother was white. She was from Kansas, but he still didn't do anything for black folks. So it really doesn't matter your identity. Okay, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But nonetheless, she still deflected from answering that question again. She wasn't on CNN with Dana Bash and to say, next question. She didn't do that, right? But she deflected the question again. And then to Jesse's point about that it was 3 against 1, I agree. The one thing I noticed during the debate is that they were fact-checking Donald Trump They fact-checked Donald Trump, I want to say about 5 times. I could be off 1 or 2. But they fact-checked Donald Trump about 5 times. And one of that was his claims of the illegal immigrants eating cats and dogs and wild animals in Springfield, Ohio, which the citizens are stating this is true. They're walking around chopping off ducks' heads, okay? And I guess they're eating them. But this is what the public, this is what the communities in Springfield, Ohio is stating. And they fact-checked Donald Trump by the city manager of Springfield stating that those claims are untrue. And the one comment that Donald Trump may say, well, he probably don't want to admit that because it's embarrassing. I agree to a certain point, especially when you do the research and you see that the citizens of Springfield, Ohio are stating, yeah, they're wrangling up ducks, they're wrangling up cats, and they're killing them, okay? I don't know if anyone has actually came out and said they're eating them, okay? But why are you going around with ducks killing, walking around? And as Jessica Pierce said, they probably do some sacrifices. They have different religions. But again, fresh duck, pluck a couple of feathers, roast it right there. Because a lot of these people, a lot of these illegal immigrants inside the country are homeless. So they're doing things right there in the public, in front of people's houses, in front of people living quarters, in front of people rental space, etc. So we can't ignore these things. And then the moderators never, and correct me if I'm wrong, family, the moderators never, ever fact check Kamala Harris. I didn't see it one time. In matter of fact, Donald Trump had to fact check or defend himself against Kamala Harris. And I know some people who just tuned it in. Again, I'm no Trumper, I'm no MAGA, I'm no Democrat, I'm no liberal, I'm none of these things. I'm very neutral on it. But to his point, he pointed out that she keeps stating that he's for Project 2025. And anybody who's a hardcore, concrete Democrat keeps stating that. He keeps saying, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. And the only thing that the ABC, MSNBC, whatever these moderators were from, had to pop out is the many times that Donald Trump has denied any connection to the Heritage Foundation, any connection to Project 2025. He's denounced it. He's denied it over and over again, because if you go to Trump's website, his thing is Agenda 47. He said, I don't know even what's in Project 2025. I didn't read it. I'm not associated with that group of those people who wrote that. I don't want to read it. He even stated that, but no one's going over to Donald Trump's website and listening in on all the many clips like we've done here at Blacklogic on Agenda 47. Yeah, he's not for Project 2025, but he is for Agenda 47. Now, with that being said, there are some elements of Project 2025 inside of Agenda 47, not verbatim, but there's some elements there, okay? But it's not Project 2025, to his point. So again, it was 3 against 1 because the moderators never fact-check Kamala Harris. They never fact-check Kamala Harris. And this is why I believe Donald Trump wanted to have one of the debates on Fox News. Family, I'm here to tell you, I don't believe it's going to happen. I would be very surprised. What we got, 56, 55 days to the election? I will be surprised if there's another debate. Because if there's another debate, this is going to give Donald Trump another go around to polish himself. And again, he may still take debate. That's Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't back away from any question or any response, which he should. It's about being strategic. Okay, you shouldn't respond and you shouldn't clap back on everything that's being said. It's not a good tactic, okay? Because he fell for a lot of these things, hook, line, and sinker, unfortunately. Okay, for people who really are on the fence about voting and you don't really care if it's a Democrat or a Republican, you're just trying to find out who's the best candidate, then again, the debate probably didn't look good in Donald Trump's favor, okay? That's just my own opinion. That's my own bias about that particular thing.
The resources that were set up for the Americans that reside here. I'm angry that another country's flag was being flown in our city. I'm angry when I see our businesses and recreational areas littered with garbage left by people that do not know or understand our laws and culture and are making no attempt to learn about them. And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work. People living their life here the way they did in Haiti, angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth, and acting like animals. These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside and throwing the rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public. Making some barbaric stew.
Whoa. This white lady is telling all the business. She just said that the Haitians are going on the roads and the highways, picking up the roadkill and cleaning it, going inside the grocery stores, opening up containers, eating it and throwing it on the shelves and on the floor, and stealing farm animals, cutting off the heads. So again, we already have multiple stories, multiple stories of illegal immigrants doing such things. So again, family, Trump didn't lie. I just think that, right message, wrong person, right message. I don't know.
Out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop. What will become of Springfield? Where will we be in 5 years? The thought terrifies me.
There have been firsthand reports of wrong-way drivers on one-way streets, drivers ignoring stop signs, and red lights and other traffic issues. There is the impact on businesses having to deal with language, cultural differences.
Only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. I don't know, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them and it's going to get bigger, and it's only that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them and it's going to get bigger.
Family, that's all I got for you. So I didn't do a reaction or a recap of the debate because a lot of you guys saw it and, you took it for what it was. I think I'll just be, it would be a very redundant and asinine video. But the one claim that I think everybody was talking about, because we didn't know this, the rest of the country didn't know all these things were occurring in Springfield, Ohio, where the illegal immigrants are literally picking up roadkill and cleaning it and taking them away. They're picking up cats, killing cats. They're picking up ducks that are around the ponds, chopping off heads and then eating them, as his brother stated. And in my opinion, we can, at one point, we just had one person stating this, but when we have white people stating this, black people stating this, even a black guy was like, hey, I'm not really against immigrants, but this is what these Haitians are doing. Just like the white lady said, hey, this is not about race, but they have a different culture, but they coming over here and they're not being civilized. And then, they're coming in and they're going into grocery stores and opening up things and eating and throwing it away. They're picking up roadkill. They're stealing farm animals, chopping off heads. You keep hearing the same story over and over again, family. So whether you're on the fence to vote or not, wow. B1 family, you guys have a good one. I'm out.